Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you with Game 5 in a best of 5 series. So far Squirtle and Alive have been really giving us great games here in this best of 5 series. Alive took the first 2 games and it looked like he was going to be able to win this series very easily, only to have Squirtle even it up in the next 2 games, in games 3 and 4. Now, Alive spawning as the blue Terran player here at what I'll call the 5 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Squirtle spawning as the red Protoss player here at the 11 o'clock position. Cross spawns here on Antigua Shipyard. And this is promising to be a good game once more. We'll see what the strategies will be. A rather early scout coming in from Squirtle, especially since he knows where his opponent actually is. What he can try to do, though, is he can try to get inside the base and really figure out what Alive's build is. The problem will be that wherever Alive tries to hide a barracks, it will most likely be successful, since the probe is already trying to come up the ramp now. SCV just starting on this barracks. This one probe could be able to harass it. I don't see Alive pushing out with another SCV anywhere else on the map. Oh, there it is. There's that SCV. We'll see what it's going to do, taking a little bit of damage there, and now finally pulling away. We could see a supply depot follow up in order to try to wall in this probe and get in the damage. The probe now going to perhaps try to come back around and get a zap. No, it does get a zap, but also takes a little bit more damage than it would like, as this SCV was trying to wander around. So not exactly sure what Alive's strategy was with that second SCV. But whatever it was foiled by this probe. The probe does now have maximum shields, gonna re-engage against that one SCV. SCV now down to 25 hit points, and now looking to deal more damage again. He could try to, nope, he's not gonna do anything too sneaky or crazy. He doesn't see any refineries here. And based upon the timing, Squirtle could easily assume that there is no barracks hidden anywhere on the map. And he knew that there was no barracks hiding off here or here, because he did scout out those locations, and just really well played by Squirtle. In terms of early scouting, the problem will be that his economy, it does suffer just a little bit, and with especially Alive turning this into an economic game, opting to go for a quick expansion. And now all this probe can really do is perhaps try to hide, or perhaps look for that barracks somewhere else. We are going to be getting out a Chrono Boosted Stalker, most likely. There we go. Chrono Boosted Stalker now coming out to play, not Chrono Boosting out that Warp Gate tech at all. The probe wants to see and make sure if there is an expansion, but there may be a Marine down there already. No Marine as of yet. The probe, oh, could have gone up the ramp, and that would have been a huge discovery to know that his opponent is going for an expansion, but decides not to scout. Really worth the 50 minerals there, as the probe now just wandering around. The probe coming across the Marine. Not a very good day for that probe. It gets shot down, and without even scouting out this command center. One Stalker now making a move across the map. SCV is going to be retreating. One Marine now, or 2 Marines now, going to be going up against that one Stalker. The Stalker doesn't really want to engage against those Marines, especially with more and more Marine reinforcements coming over as well. The double gas is already established. Alive will be teching into Stim, and if the previous games are any indication of what's going to go down, a tech lab with double reactors for a lot more Marines may be in the near future. Gateways currently coming in. We should be seeing a robotics facility or some other building come in from Squirtle. Not quite sure why Squirtle hasn't done anything else. Oh, that SCV may get taken down. It is already at 5 hit points. It moves a little bit slower than the Stalker. The Stalker may be able to gain sight. No, now into the fog of war, but it does get shot down there, and now holding the center Zelnaga Tower. Marines looking to do a little bit of a split, but the Marines are going to perhaps gain sight on that Stalker. The Stalker now walking up the ramp, going through the fog of, going through the mist there, and now just constantly shooting back and forth as the Marines are able to hold the Zelnaga Tower for at least a little while. We can see that with that double gas, and with only a tech lab down and no reactors, we could perhaps see earlier medevacs than normal. One Marine now going to be scouting out, making sure that there is no proxy pylon set up. That probe is hidden off over here. Going to try to run away. The Marine perhaps knows that probe has warped in a pylon somewhere. Is the Marine going to scout it out? Most likely he will, taking down that pylon and dashing any hopes for any backdoor warp-ins coming in from Squirtle. Stalkers and sentries now making a move over. Stalkers moving off over here as well. We're going to see Marines trying to run away from that from those two stalkers, and still a little bit of a battle. The proxy pylon is now being, or one proxy pylon will be warping in momentarily, but it really feels like Alive is gonna hit a good timing here if Squirtle doesn't try to do a bit of a retreat. The problem is medevacs and stim will be completed in the next minute, and Marines with stim very effective against those stalkers, especially with marauders nearby, as they have a higher DPS against those stalkers. SCV going to be coming in around the corner here, taking a little bit of a look. Squirtle only has 3 warp gates, surprisingly. I can't imagine that he's going to try to do a bit of pressure with only 3 warp gates. He doesn't have that large of an army, but here we go. We are going to have an engagement now. Army size 1750 versus 1000. That is a whole bunch of Marines. In comes the Guardian Shield, and now perhaps there's the force fields. Zealot's going to be able to finish off this bunker here, and now the force fields preventing many of the Marines and the Marauders from even getting into position. SCV's coming off the mineral line. Squirtle losing a lot of his units, but so far Alive losing a lot more of his SCVs. The medevacs now need to back away. They're flying straight overhead. One medevac down, a second medevac down. 2 huge losses for Alive, as the Marines are now finally getting stim. Are they going to turn around and engage? Yes, Squirtle is going to turn around and engage, knowing that a reinforcement of Zealots in the front is exactly what he needs. Orbital Command now lifting off, and Alive is very, very frustrated, I'm sure, right now at the stage of the game. SCV is now trying to come down the mineral line, or trying to come down, unable to do so. There's a force field, beautiful stop, preventing many of the Marines from being able to even charge down at the ramp. Stalkers now engaging against SCVs again, and Alive now down to his final army. He needs to be able to fend off this push, but even if he does so, he is going to be significantly behind, as he has lost a lot of workers. 29 workers killed, 17 to 37, force field on the ramp, and it looks like we're going to be getting a new round of Stalkers to join in with this army. Stalkers now simply just going to hold here and fortify. The factory could try to do something cute, land, and then train up Hellions in order to do a bit of harassment there. And now in come the Stalkers. The Stalkers going to focus down the supply depot. SCV's trying to come over. Some more beautiful force fields, and I believe that's going to be all she wrote. The Stalkers eating through the SCVs. Many of the Marines unable to even engage, as the Stalkers have superior range. And Alive is going to lose 3 straight games after taking a couple. There is a medevac support over here. One proxy pylon, or one Artosis pylon, comes off. No more reinforcements. Stalkers now need to come over to engage off over here, but there's simply too much of a standing army inside the base of Alive, with Alive not having that many units. There's the GG. Alive losing to Squirtle after taking the first 2 games. A brilliant comeback by Squirtle in this best of 5 series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.